Tommy was no ordinary 9-year-old. With bright blue eyes and messy brown hair, he radiated joy wherever he went. Music filled his heart, and he spent countless hours listening to his favorite songs in his room, dreaming of all the concerts he would someday attend. But there was a deeper reason behind Tommy's excitement that night at the Elvis concert. His dad, a brave soldier, was currently serving overseas, and Tommy missed him dearly. Often, he would draw pictures of their fun moments together or make up stories about adventures they would have once his dad returned home. Tommy wanted everyone to know just how proud he was of his father's service. That's why he made a special sign for the concert that read, "My dad is fighting overseas." As he stood in the crowd, holding the sign high above his head, Tommy felt both nervous and hopeful. The arena was filled with fans eagerly waiting for Elvis to take the stage. The energy buzzed around him like electricity. People cheered and shouted with enthusiasm. But for Tommy, this concert meant so much more than just great music. It was a chance to share a piece of his heart. When Elvis came out under the bright lights, it felt like magic. His powerful voice filled the air, making everyone smile and dance along to classic hits. Yet amidst all this excitement, Tommy's mind drifted back to thoughts of his dad. He hoped that somehow, through this concert and his sign, people would understand how much love and courage it took for families like his to endure separation. Little did Tommy know that this night would become an unforgettable moment not just for him, but for everyone present, a moment filled with gratitude and connection that crossed all barriers. The moment Tommy entered the arena, he was swept away by a wave of excitement. The air buzzed with anticipation, filled with the laughter and chatter of fans eagerly awaiting Elvis's arrival. Bright lights twinkled overhead, illuminating the faces of people from all walks of life, young and old, friends and families, united in their love for music. Colorful banners waved back and forth, adding to the festive atmosphere as they prepared for a night to remember. The stage itself was a sight to behold. It was adorned with sparkling decorations, and a grand piano sat center stage, waiting for the legend to make his entrance. As Tommy looked around, he could see older fans wearing vintage Elvis shirts while younger ones sported shiny accessories, all humming snippets of their favorite songs. The energy in the packed arena pulsed like a living thing, growing stronger with every passing moment. As the lights dimmed suddenly, a hush fell over the crowd. Cheers erupted as the spotlight shone brightly on the empty stage, igniting a roar of excitement that echoed through the arena. Tommy's heart raced. He could hardly contain his joy. He clutched his sign tightly, hoping that Elvis would see it and understand just how much his dad's service meant to him. When Elvis finally appeared, the crowd erupted into applause and cheers that could be felt deep within Tommy's chest. The iconic performer looked sharp in his signature jumpsuit, with a warm smile that lit up the room. With every note he sang, Tommy felt the music wrap around him like a cozy blanket. The atmosphere transformed into something magical. It was more than just a concert. It was a celebration of love, music, and bravery that brought everyone together in harmony. As Tommy stood among the sea of fans, his heart swelled with pride while he held up his sign that read, "My dad is fighting overseas." To many, it was just a simple piece of cardboard, but for Tommy, it was a heartfelt message that carried the weight of love and longing. Each letter he had drawn with care represented not only his father's bravery but also the deep connection they shared despite the distance. Tommy often thought about how much he missed his dad. He remembered the day his father left. They had hugged tightly, and his dad told him to be brave. Since then, Tommy had channeled his feelings into drawings and stories, imagining heroic adventures where they would reunite. But tonight felt different. He wanted to share that pride with everyone around him, hoping they could feel how special his father was, how strong and courageous. The sign was more than a tribute. It was an invitation for others to understand what military families go through. As he held it high, Tommy imagined that maybe someone in the audience would recognize the sacrifices made by service members and their families. He wanted people to know that while they celebrated Elvis's music, they could also celebrate those who served their country. In his young mind, Tommy believed that if Elvis saw his sign, it might spark a moment of connection between them, a bridge between music and family love. He hoped that the crowd would join him in honoring all those who fight for freedom. With each passing moment in the arena, Tommy felt a growing sense of hope. The concert was not just about entertainment. It was about recognizing love in all its forms, especially the love between a boy and his dad serving far away. As the concert continued, the music flowed powerfully through the arena, but a hush fell over the crowd during one of the quieter moments. The energy shifted, and an air of anticipation swept through the fans like a gentle wave. Tommy stood proudly with his sign raised high, feeling a mix of hope and nervousness as he searched Elvis's face for any sign that he had been noticed. In that magical instant, Elvis's eyes scanned the crowd, and then they landed on Tommy. Time seemed to stand still as the connection sparked between them. Elvis paused mid-sentence, a warm smile spreading across his face as he leaned closer to the microphone. The world around them faded away. It was just Tommy and Elvis in that moment, sharing something profound. The crowd shifted their attention towards Tommy as whispers of excitement rippled through them. People turned to see what had captured Elvis's gaze, and soon everyone began to notice the young boy holding the heartfelt sign. Eyes widened with curiosity and admiration as they recognized the sentiment behind it. Elvis gestured for Tommy to stand up, making it feel like the spotlight was solely on him. As Tommy rose, his heart raced. He could hardly believe that his hero was acknowledging him. The arena buzzed with excitement, every fan watching this special moment unfold. "Thank you, son," Elvis said with genuine warmth, his voice resonating through the air. "Your dad is doing an incredible job out there." As he spoke, a wave of applause erupted from the audience, filling Tommy with an overwhelming sense of pride. In that brief exchange, everyone felt part of something larger, celebrating bravery and love and a shared respect for families like Tommy's. The magic of that moment transformed not just the concert but also the hearts of every person present. As the applause quieted down, Elvis looked around the arena, soaking in the energy of the crowd. His eyes swept over the faces of excited fans, but then they fell on Tommy's sign. A broad smile stretched across his face, and for a moment, it felt like the entire world stopped. The way Elvis paused and looked directly at Tommy created a bubble of intimacy amidst the chaos of thousands of cheering people. "Hey there, kiddo!" Elvis called out with his warm voice, pointing straight at Tommy. "Can you stand up for me?" The genuine excitement in Elvis's tone sent a thrill through Tommy's body. It was as if he had been chosen from all those present for something extraordinary. He hesitated for just a moment, overcome by disbelief at being part of this magical encounter. With the encouragement of surrounding fans, Tommy finally rose to his feet, holding his sign high with both hands. With each second that passed, he felt more courageous, basking in the joy that erupted around him. As he established eye contact with Elvis, he felt an electric connection, a bond between them that transcended age and experience. Elvis took a step closer to the edge of the stage and nodded approvingly. "That's a great sign you've got there," he said softly enough for only Tommy to hear but loud enough for others to feel that special moment. "Your dad is doing an incredible job out there." The room filled with warmth. Applause rang out once more as people began to cheer for both Tommy and his father. What had begun as a simple act transformed into an impactful tribute. In that brief encounter, everyone in the arena felt uplifted and united in a shared bond of appreciation for their brave service members and their families. With the whole arena buzzing in anticipation, Elvis took a moment to soak in the appreciation radiating from the crowd. He turned his attention back to Tommy, who was still standing with his sign held proud and high. Elvis knew this moment was special, not just for Tommy but for all the families like his who were making sacrifices every day. "Everyone, let's take a moment to thank not just Tommy's dad, but all the brave men and women serving our country," he said, his voice steady but filled with warmth. The crowd fell silent once more, and you could feel the collective heartbeat of thousands of fans as they absorbed his words. Elvis continued, "These heroes leave their homes and families behind to protect our freedoms. That takes incredible bravery." As he spoke, Tommy felt a swell of emotion. He was not alone. There were many in the audience who shared in his pride and understanding of that sacrifice. Elvis gestured toward the audience, inviting everyone to join him in recognition. "Let's show them how much we appreciate what they do," he exclaimed. The arena erupted into loud applause and cheers that seemed to travel beyond the walls, spreading out into the night. There was a sense of unity as fans stood together, honoring not only Tommy's father but all service members who had committed themselves to protect their way of life. Then, turning back to Tommy, Elvis smiled again. "You know," he said softly enough for only Tommy to hear but loud enough for those nearby to feel its significance. "Your dad is a real star." Touched by this affirmation, Tommy beamed with pride. His heart exploded with happiness, not just from being recognized by his idol but because he felt an overwhelming connection to every family represented there that night. It was a moment where gratitude met love and respect, one that would resonate deeply even long after the concert had ended. After the heartfelt applause faded, Elvis took a breath and stepped away from the microphone slightly, ready to shift the mood in the arena. He glanced at Tommy once more, a twinkle of joy in his eye. "Now I want to dedicate my next song to someone very special," he announced, his voice carrying a mix of warmth and reverence. The audience leaned in, eager to know who this dedication was for. "This one goes out to Tommy's dad," he continued, gesturing towards Tommy, whose heart soared at the mention of his father. Elvis knew that dedicating a song to someone serving overseas would resonate with everyone present. Many had loved ones who were also fighting for their country. As the first notes of the song began to play, a hush fell over the crowd, creating an intimate atmosphere filled with emotion. The music enveloped them, and each lyric seemed to echo the sentiments of bravery and love that filled the room. It was a classic Elvis ballad, rich with heart and nostalgia, and Tommy could feel the significance of the moment washing over him as he stood in awe. Elvis sang passionately, pouring every ounce of feeling into the performance. The lyrics spoke not just of love but also of hope and longing, capturing the essence of what families endured during times of separation. For Tommy, it felt like a personal serenade, one that honored his dad's sacrifices and those of every soldier away from home. As the song came to an end, the crowd erupted in cheers once more, but this time they were standing on their feet, overcome by shared gratitude. In that moment, under the bright lights, Tommy felt proud not only for his father but for every service member represented in that arena. It was a moment forged in unity and respect, forever etched in his heart as a powerful tribute to love and sacrifice. As the final notes of the song faded into a warm silence, Elvis took a moment to step back from the microphone. He looked down at Tommy, who was still standing with his sign, beaming with pride and happiness. Elvis then reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out one of his cherished scarves, a vibrant piece that had become a symbol of his performances. "Elvis is going to give you something special," he announced, holding the scarf up for all to see. The audience gasped in excitement, their eyes wide as they watched this heartfelt moment unfold. "This scarf is a little token for you, Tommy. It's my way of saying thank you for being such a brave son." Tommy's heart raced as he stepped forward, extending his small hands toward Elvis, who gently placed the scarf in them. It felt soft and warm, imbued with the energy of countless performances and the love of fans who adored him. In that instant, it wasn't just a gift, it was an acknowledgement of Tommy's courage and the sacrifices made by his father. The crowd erupted into cheers once again, their applause echoing throughout the arena as they recognized the significance of this gesture. For them, it represented appreciation not only for Tommy's father but for all service members who put their lives on the line for their country. The scarf had become a symbol of unity, bringing everyone together in a shared moment of respect and gratitude. As Tommy held the scarf close to his chest, he felt a rush of emotion, joy mixed with pride, and knew that this night would be etched in his memory forever. The connection between him and Elvis had grown deeper through this simple yet powerful act, turning an ordinary concert into an extraordinary tribute filled with love and recognition for families like his own. This scarf would serve as a reminder that heroes come in many forms and that their sacrifices are deeply valued by those who admire them. As the applause for Elvis's heartfelt gesture began to swell, the atmosphere in the arena transformed into something truly powerful. The crowd, filled with fans from all walks of life, stood up as one, their faces glowing with emotion and appreciation. The energy in the room surged like a tidal wave, fueled by shared respect and admiration for the sacrifices made by service members and their families. Tommy stood amidst the sea of people, clutching his new scarf tightly against his heart. He could hardly believe that this moment was real as he looked around at the audience, who had united in an echoing show of support. Everywhere he turned, he saw smiles and tears, expressions of gratitude that transcended words. The cheers rolled through the arena like thunder, each clap and shout amplifying the bond that had formed among the attendees. "Thank you for your service!" shouted a voice from behind him, sparking another round of applause that seemed to lift everyone off their feet. It was infectious. Fans were hugging each other, waving flags, and shouting words of encouragement not just to Tommy but to every family member who had a loved one serving far away. It was a moment of collective recognition and honor that filled the space with warmth. Tommy felt overwhelmed by pride. He realized that he was not just representing his father but also every soldier serving overseas. The cheers resonated deep within him as he understood the importance of this tribute, not only for his dad but for all those who fought bravely for their country. As Elvis watched from the stage, a smile spread across his face, clearly moved by the unity and love radiating from the crowd. In that packed arena filled with music and love, a simple moment had blossomed into a powerful tribute. It became clear that this night would stay etched in Tommy's memory forever, a time when people came together to honor courage, sacrifice, and the unwavering love between families separated by duty. As the concert drew to a close, the atmosphere remained charged with heartfelt emotion. Tommy stood among the fans, still clutching Elvis's cherished scarf, which had become a powerful symbol of recognition and appreciation. In that moment, he reflected on not just his father's sacrifice but also the sacrifices made by countless military families, each with their own stories of love, separation, and bravery. This experience had opened Tommy's eyes to the larger community of support around him. He understood now that he wasn't alone in feeling proud or anxious about his dad's deployment. The unifying applause from the crowd echoed in his heart, reminding him that there were many people out there who shared similar experiences and sentiments. Each cheer didn't only honor his father, it celebrated resilience and commitment across families who waited patiently for their loved ones to return home. Elvis's tribute had ignited a spirit of camaraderie among the audience that extended beyond the walls of the arena. People hugged, waved flags, and exchanged smiles filled with understanding. It was as if a shared bond had formed, a connection rooted in respect for those who serve and their families who stand by them. Tommy felt inspired by this display of solidarity, realizing how powerful it was to recognize and support one another. As he prepared to leave the concert, Tommy glanced back at the stage where Elvis had poured his heart into every note. He felt the strength of that emotional night wash over him, a reminder that courage comes in many forms, from those who fight on the front lines to those who wait at home. He knew he would carry this experience with him always, infusing it into his own life as a beacon of hope and love for all military families. This night had not only been an extraordinary concert, it had transformed into an unforgettable celebration of family bonds and steadfast support that resonated long after the final song faded away.